Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Movie Deputy Reviews, where we are talking about a movie that came out a little bit earlier this year, and it's one that, honestly, I didn't think there was a whole lot of interest in it, so I was maybe kind of skipping it over a little bit, just because I was like, okay, is this going to be another woke Hollywood joke? Or like, what else am I talking about? If you're watching our video podcast here on YouTube, you know what movie I'm talking about, as you can see the podcast image right here. But for those who are not on the visual side of this yet, we are talking about the movie Materialists. Now, I do speak with a little bit of a stutter from time to time, so I apologize if I'm going to mispronounce this title. But Materialists, it's like sometimes I'm going to get stuck on that a little bit, or I hope I don't get too stuck on it. But yeah, we're going to be talking about this one. You may be thinking, okay, Jen, wait a minute. You forgot to show us the podcast image for weapons. And it's like, yes, I totally did. And that was totally my bad. So I apologize. But the reason that we are actually starting with the podcast image today of Materialists is because I took a lot of creative licenses with the poster, making it into the podcast image that we see right there. So I want to show you that and kind of explain that a little bit. And of course, we're going to get into the trailer on this as well. Let's take the podcast image away and I'm going to put up the poster. Now, you'll see what you can kind of tell one of the biggest reasons why I took some creative liberties with this is, of all of the posters, I kind of like this one the best because of the way it shows the three actors and just kind of the city skyline thing at the bottom. But the whole thing is in Spanish. I think that's Spanish. I don't speak Spanish at all. So, pardon me. Yeah, I will not over-edit these programs, so my apologies on that. But as you can see, as per the poster, why I took a few more creative images or liberties with that. But I used the skyline that's kind of right. We're going to do this right there. And then I changed around the text a whole lot. So let's go back to the podcast image and you can kind of see a little bit more of what I did there. So I really like how this one turned out. Sometimes I take a little bit more license with these than with other ones. And this is one that I really like the way it turned out. Now, I will say right off the bat, for as simple as this movie seems, I'm giving this a guilty rating. There is no getting around that. There's a lot of content that is just not appropriate for younger audiences, and the content definitely has some questionable content, or the story definitely has some questionable content to it. So that may give you an idea where we're coming in at the score with on this one, but don't worry, I'm going to get to that here in a little bit. But let's get into the review, and then we'll talk, or the review, the trailer, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the movie as well.
Are you single? I'm a matchmaker. Give me a call if you want to meet somebody.
I deserve someone who fulfills all of my criteria.
Nothing over 20 BMI.
I don't want someone who likes cats. I'm trying to settle.
I promise you're going to marry the love of your life.
Now, for a lot of people, finding the love of their life or hoping to find the love of their life just seems unattainable. And this story doesn't necessarily make that any easier to comprehend or to process with all of that. So as you can tell, our main character, her name is Lucy, and she is a matchmaker in New York City. So let's see how this plays out.
How many marriages are you responsible for now, Lucy?
9. If the girl asks for a call, drink of water.
Now, if you notice the cake, it said Happy 9th Wedding Lucy. Lucy has not been married 9 times. She is a matchmaker, and 9 of her matches have gotten married. So that's what that cake was in reference to. And don't worry, no spoilers. You know me, no spoilers ever.
With a salary over $500,000,
Always Mr. Right.
you deliver.
You're the matchmaker. You want a drink?
Sure. Coke and beer.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, John.
Definitely didn't expect to run into you tonight.
I missed you.
Yeah, you don't even remember my face.
Lucy M., the Eternal Bachelorette.
You can do better than me.
My instincts are usually right. Hi.
Wow. You know how to do the math, don't you?
Now, this story is really sold as a love triangle between the three main characters, but it's not necessarily as simple as that.
You are what we call a unicorn. An impossible fantasy.
How much is this apartment?
12 million.
Not gonna marry him, are you?
Why not?
Because he's good looking and rich. Probably doesn't have roommates.
Is that my charger?
When I see your face, I see wrinkles and children that look like you. So where does that leave us?
What are you thinking about?
I don't think I'm very good at my job anymore.
We promised them love.
But the math doesn't add up.
Why does anyone even get married?
Because they're lonely. And because they're hopeful.
I'm turning 48 and I think I need to meet someone more grown.
I have a really beautiful client. She's 31.
I wasn't really thinking 30s.
Yeah, so as you can see by the trailer, it plays out a little unusual, but there's a lot of heart to this story. I was really amazed. There is the as a matchmaker, she is the eternal cynic. True love doesn't exist. Marry for basically all the other reasons, for somebody who can keep you safe and who can provide for the basics and everything like that. And I just realized I've got something on my shirt right here. I don't have any idea what that is. Or is it just a shadow? I can't quite tell. My apologies on that. But for Lucy here, like I said, she is the eternal cynic. I mean, there is just something in the way that she approaches things. And so she's dealing with all of these people who want these lofty, like what they call a unicorn, somebody tall and rich and just that checks all the boxes. And, that's the equivalent of a unicorn. I mean, imagine being a matchmaker and dealing with clients who only want to find other clients that are upwards of $200,000 a year, $500,000 a year, etc. It's like, that's just unrealistic on so many levels. But maybe in New York City, maybe it's a little bit more, but I can't even imagine that. But, okay, the part about this story that really means a lot is I think the story really has to do a lot more with value, how we value ourselves, how others value us, and what exactly is value. Is it how people treat us? Is it how we treat others? Is it who can provide more or who makes us more happy? It's like that really kind of comes down to the basis of it with that. And does that mean that true love doesn't exist, or does that mean that true love comes with conditions? There are so many things that are left up in the air with this movie, but the one thing that's a constant in this story, and it's one thing that I couldn't help but just smile throughout the story, is she's struggling with the whole thing. She's got one person on one side who can give her everything she's ever dreamt about. Like, she would never have to worry about money again. I mean, she could travel the world and he could give her anything she's ever wanted. And then there's the other one who is broke. It just cannot provide her with any type of stability, but loves her unconditionally. And so which do you go towards? Do you go towards the absolute unconditional love, or do you go towards the stability and the security? That's something she is really torn in this movie. And the decision that she makes is not as obvious as it may seem. The happy ending that you see at the end of this is not what you would expect. And so don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it for you or give it away with anything. And surprisingly, the person that brought this movie to my attention was Elise Meyer. So thank you to Elise for that. But this is one of her favorite movies of all time. And so she's just been obsessed with watching this. And so it made me want to check it out. So I'm glad I had a chance to check it out and to bring it to you. You're probably wondering where I'm at with the score. And okay, this one I'm really going to probably surprise you a lot with this one. Materialists, I'm coming in at a 7.5 out of 10 on the deputy scale. Now, you know me, I can be quite harsh, and there is a lot of trigger content, of inappropriate content in this, especially for younger audiences. This is young adult to Gen Xer age type romantic comedy of sorts. I mean, there's some comedy, but like I said, there's a lot of deep drama. It deals with abuses. It deals with, there's a lot of sexual situations and things like that. Just a lot of deep conversations, a lot of shallow conversations that just make things really uncomfortable. But the thing is, the story is enough that it carries it through. And that's really rare to say when a story is strong enough that it can carry it through some of that content. So if you are wanting something that is, I can't completely say wholesome, but it will definitely leave you with something. This is a hidden gem that you might not realize. So if you are into like the romance drama type stories, this is one that you're going to want to check out for sure. So as always, I promise it's going to be an adventure. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share. We've got some giveaways that are going to be coming up in the next couple weeks. So be sure to come back and don't miss an episode because you don't want to miss out. So as always, have fun, and I'll be back soon. Bye-bye.